the name Spicy McHaggis comes from a menu item in McDonald's.
That is not
McDonald's
real.
in Scotland.
That is not real.
It is.
It is not real. They do not have haggis at McDonald's in Scotland.
A McHaggis, exactly.
They do not have that. That is not real. It was a joke about McDonald's.
The lore says...
They do not have haggis.
The lore
at
says
McDonald's.
That at a Scottish McDonald's, they had something called the Spicy McHaggis.
Unless it was some type of joke thing. It's definitely not haggis, though.
Either
you know
way,
what haggis is?
I'm aware. It's poop from a Hey, howdy, hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Mike's Monday Jams, the official podcast for music appreciators everywhere. Today we're going to be talking about the song I'm Shipping Up to Boston by the band the Dropkick Murphys. Let's get it. Well, Monday, March 17th, it's St. Patrick's Day.
We're not wearing green. They're going to pinch us.
We're going to get pinched.
We're going to get pinched.
I don't even really think there's even green in the set other than on the album cover. Shoot.
Rough. Sorry, y'all.
Pinch each other for you.
I hate getting pinched. Don't pinch me.
Go ahead, pinch me back. Youch.
What? My nails are green.
There you go.
So he unnecessarily pinched me.
Flag on the play. Unnecessary pinch.
Unnecessary pinching.
MC and EC on the track. Not two MCs.
Well.
But yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Woo.
Yeah, kiss me, I'm Irish, you know.
Yeah, Irish.
Go have a potato. I don't know. Drink a beer.
No potatoes.
Celebrate the fact that you have potatoes.
Yeah.
Now.
Cherish your potatoes.
So there's that.
Do an Irish car bomb. Yum.
We hope you were aware of the Ides of March last week. Beware of them. We hope you were aware of them. Birthday shout out to my dad this week. Woohoo! Happy birthday, Dad.
Birth alert.
I've been explaining this to you throughout the week, but thought it was interesting food for thought or podcast fodder. Recently, the band Tool is in the hot seat.
Oh, gosh.
Last week, it was like that first weekend in March, or second weekend in March. They did what was labeled as Tool in the Sand, which was like a 2-day music fest in the Dominican Republic where they headlined both nights in Punta Cana. And fans could buy tickets.
So it was T.I.T.S.
Yes.
Tool in the Sand, T.I.T.S. In Punta. Tits in Punta.
The jokes write themselves, folks.
Certainly.
And, fans could buy tickets to it. It included like a whole all-inclusive package at a resort and whatnot. And, of course, there were like varying levels.
And I'm sure you could fly Spirit to the DR.
But the packages, from what I understand, range from $4,000 to $10,000 for everything. It's like it included your accommodations, your meals, like the activities.
$4,000 for the weekend?
The tickets. I think it was like a 3-day thing in total.
$4,000?
That's just what people were saying.
That is wild.
Hold up. That was just what people were saying they paid. So that could have included like airfare and yes. I don't know. I never looked into it because I wasn't going to go.
Certainly not.
But the whole point of this festival and why people are mad is because the bands promised in all their advertising, in quotes, 2 unique nights of songs.
All right, take a moment. What do you guys think that means?
And the first night they played 10 songs, and the second night they played 9 songs. And there are 4 that are similar between the 2 nights.
4 that are the same?
Yes.
Not similar?
Yes, the same.
That is not what unique means.
No,
at all.
But it is only 4 repeated songs.
Yeah, that's almost half when you're only playing 10.
Fair.
If you were playing 22 and there were 4 repeated songs, then this outrage would still have been false advertising, but this outrage would be ridiculous. But when that's almost half the set,
fair,
and you perhaps paid $4,000 to go, and it was false advertisement, like.
As with most things, I exist in the middle, because I definitely see both sides. But yeah, people are pissed about it. They're filing a class action lawsuit against the band.
It's false advertising.
And this to me is just like the most Tool thing ever, like Tool fan base thing ever, because like Tool fans like notoriously hate the band. It's like
Why?
It's just a weird thing. It's like there are a lot of different types of Tool fan, and I was telling him earlier, the Tool Reddit page is a fantastic place to be right now, because you have the people who went and are upset at the band, the people that were too broke to go and are like laughing at the people who did go, the people that straight up don't care, and then the people that don't know what's going on, and it's just a circle of just crap.
And they're all on Reddit.
And it's just very entertaining, to say the least, between the memes and the conversations. But there are videos on the second night of fans like booing them and flipping them off.
Well, sounds appropriate. Like, I mean, I would never make the insane choice to do that. Like, that's the number one thing. But if you do make the insane choice to do that and you were promised 2 unique sets,
yeah,
you were lied to. Like, that is false information.
Some might say.
And like I said, if it was a band that played a regular amount of songs,
exactly,
played 22-ish songs, 4 songs wouldn't be outrageous to repeat. But when that's like half the set, like, that is crazy.
Yeah.
You paid for 2 concerts and you got a concert and a half.
Yes.
Like, that would piss you off, I think.
Probably. Because like it again, and we talked about this too. It's like it's not like you just went to like Chicago for a 2-night run.
Yeah.
It was in a different country.
Yeah.
Because I guess,
and it's not like it was like, I mean, they sold it as a package,
right? Which is even more confusing to me. Is why like halfway through the second night's set, lead singer was like, "Raise your hand if you weren't here last night," and like nobody raised their hands. It's like, who was flying to the DR for one night of that? Yeah,
especially if it was sold as a package to do it all. It's not like somebody's playing 2 nights at the Ryman and you're like, oh, I hope they play different stuff.
Yes.
Like,
but my Reddit post is popping off on the Tool Instagram. I made a little meme.
Oh my god.
And it's getting some traction. I got 54 upvotes and 6 comments. Let's go.
Someone said absolute cinema.
So, got a lot of people, because it's me. I'm of the disposition where I'm just like kind of laughing at it all. So the meme just represents that, because truthfully it is very entertaining to watch people just like
and also like if you care enough about this to like publicly voice an opinion on Reddit, like you probably are someone that deserves to get made fun of no matter what your opinion is.
This is why I just said, that's why I posted the meme, because I was like, this is just my tagline is goofy as hell to watch y'all bicker. Like, stupid. Do better things with your time. Anyway, like, file your lawsuit, whatever, but, like, you ain't got to, like, go back and forth with random strangers on the internet.
I do think, like, to me, I'm like, okay, if someone's going to take the initiative to file the class action lawsuit and all you got to do is sign up because you were there, absolutely fucking sign up.
Yeah.
But the people that, like, think that people shouldn't be mad about it, I'm like, just think that on your own time. I feel like it's like, why would you get angry about something because other people are upset about it the other way?
Precisely.
It sounds like you're just a contrarian.
Yes. Either way. What's your take on it? I mean, there's it's an interesting argument both ways, I suppose. But again, it's not like they're a jam band. They don't have like a lot of material to pull from. But
yeah, they played 19 total songs. I think they've got 19.
Oh, they sure do.
So
And they're older, can't do as much, but...
You said this to me yesterday, and that's the thing is like, okay, if you're older, you don't remember all the songs, you don't want...
Don't bill it as...
You don't get to do a Dominican Republic 2-night festival. Like, if you are incapable of it, then like you don't get to do it, or like y'all need to have some practice events.
Indeed.
Y'all need to practice for tits. Like, you don't get to like just do tits.
They need a P for tits.
And you don't just get to do tits and like not know what you're gonna do with tits,
So I thought that was an interesting thing to bring up. So by this point we have seen Rascal Flatts.
I mean, I hope.
That's a knock on wood.
Y'all, I mean, I think I've talked about it on the pod, but three times.
You've been smitten.
3 times Rascal has been taken away from me, so I'm not going to believe we're seeing Rascal until I see them on the stage.
Until I see Gary Lee Box.
Until I see them on the stage. Because we're pre-recording, so...
Until you see Joe Don Rooney's ass.
Yeah, if he don't break out them cheeks, I'm not going to believe I'm seeing them. Because it's been ripped away from me a few days ahead. Indeed. Before. So...
And part of, it being St. Paddy's Day, and clearly the song choice was fitting. We did go to Boston this weekend.
Yes.
Which is quite the place to go for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, I'm hyped. It'll be fun.
And my idiot self had a whole other episode written for this week, and then I was like, oh wait, Monday is actually St. Patrick's Day.
Can delay that.
So I wrote another one. I realized that this morning. I was like, oh crap, because I was looking at the calendar on the fridge because I thought it was on Sunday, but no, it's the 17th every year. Duh.
Yeah, it usually falls on the 17th.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh. So then I went back and wrote it. Wrote today's episode. Which, speaking of,
wait, today, you write these? I thought this was all off the cuff.
I mean, it's a mix of both.
No, I was just kidding.
Oh, lame. Bad joke.
If you played along with it and were like, oh, no, you're right.
Yeah.
I don't do any research.
Off the dome.
That would have been funny.
It's off the dome.
You didn't. So actually, you ruined the joke.
Totally off the dome. Today's artist, the Dropkick Murphys, are a Celtic punk band from Quincy, Mass. So the Boston metro area.
Home of Duncan.
Correct. That is the home of the OG Duncan is in Quincy, Mass. Mm-hmm. Go check it out. It's south of Boston. But they gained their popularity by perpetually touring around the New England area. And they always historically have done a stint of shows in New England around St. Patrick's Day, like the week of, they always do like a St. Patrick's Day tour situation. Which was the case this year. They did a bunch in Boston and Mohegan, a couple other places. And they're named after Dr. John Murphys, who was also known as Dropkick, his alcohol detox facility.
Oh.
And they started by doing a bunch of like opening for other folks' gigs and did some small EPs here in the late 90s and whatnot. Found a gig that they did in the basement of some barbershop in Boston.
Oh.
They're a lot. I bet at one of their shows, like they're known for having pretty lively shows. I'm like, this seems like something. There probably be some mosh pitting going on.
Oh yeah.
So
I would be very scared.
Had to stand from afar.
I do not want to mosh.
No, I do not want to mosh.
Please, I don't want
to mosh.
Do not
make me mosh.
I don't want to mosh.
I don't understand why people enjoy doing that. Anyway,
I feel like you'd be bruised.
I know, bruised, beat up, potentially concussed.
What if
you fall all the time? If you fall, then you're gonna get stomped on.
No, I really do think like trampling is a very scary thing because it's something that really happens when like there's people.
Because nobody can hear you if you fall, and you're like, "Hey, I'm down here." Nobody's gonna hear you.
No, and like they don't care.
No. Open up the pit. Like that's scary. No, I don't want to open up the pit, man. I'm trying to I pay
Unless
money to.
we did a dance circle, and you push the nerdy kid in the middle, and suddenly he's got moves. I'd be into that, but
I paid money to watch you perform. I didn't pay money to get beat
to
up.
To act like I'm like freaking bumper cars.
Right, from some random stranger,
And that's
man.
why people hit heads and stuff.
I know. Like, ow.
Ow.
I'm good.
Mm-mm.
Do not invite me to your mosh. Do not invite me to your local Denny's. No?
What?
The important video. Well, what the heck is up, Denny's? Except it's not heck. They mosh at the Denny's. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. You know that one. But the original singer of the Dropkick Murphys left to go pursue his dreams of being in the Boston Fire Department.
Oh.
Very honorable. Because I think his uncle was a member of BFD. And so he wanted to follow in his footsteps. But the band thought he was FOS. Because they released some separate statement whenever he left. And they were like, I know a lot of you've heard he wants to go do this, but no, it's because like he's not as committed as the rest of us or something. And it's like, chill out, because he eventually joined the Boston Fire Department. It's like, whoa, that just seems so unnecessary.
Like, was he an asshole? Like, did they just really not like him?
Perhaps, but yeah. Imagine like publicly saying like, you might have heard it was something honorable.
You might have heard
It's
he's
not.
a good guy, but I swear to you,
He sucks.
he's not a good guy.
So I thought that was funny.
It's very interesting.
But they found a new guy, and I believe that new guy has been with them since. A big thing of the band is they've gone through a lot of lineup changes. If you go through their Wikipedia, there's literally
a
timeline of all of them and when they've been a part of the band and whatnot. So lots of different members. There's a couple of OGs still left, perhaps one. But a lot of them who have been there since like, later 90s, early 2000s.
Dude, we had Spicy McHaggis and Scruffy Wallace.
We'll get to Spicy in a second.
Oh, really?
We'll actually get to Spicy right now. So Spicy was added as the full-time bagpipe player. His real name is Robbie Medeiros. The name Spicy McHaggis comes from a menu item in McDonald's
That is not
McDonald's
real.
in Scotland.
That is not real.
It is.
It is not real.
It
They do not have
is.
haggis at McDonald's in
A
Scotland.
McHaggis, exactly.
They do not have that. That is not real. It was a joke about McDonald's.
The lore says.
They do not have haggis
The lore
at the
says
McDonald's.
that at a Scottish McDonald's, they had something called the Spicy McHaggis.
Unless it was some type of joke thing. It's definitely not haggis, though. Do
Either
you know
way,
what haggis is?
I'm aware. It's poop from a butt. So, that's the nickname Spicy McHaggis.
Mm-hmm.
But he eventually left too, and they got another bagpipe player. But
I think his name was Scruffy Wallace. I'm dead ass.
the other bagpipe players is on today's song.
Oh,
I'm shipping
okay.
up to Boston, which that song isn't the same without it. So, pretty essential pieces of the track. I mean, so yeah, they had a lot of lineup changes, but released a couple albums after that. Kept progressing, and then we kind of get to the period of today's album where we are in that like kind of 04, 05 era.
Their era.
Yes, they have not released something as successful as this album. Alas, in 04, they released a single called Tessie.
Never heard of it.
Which is the reworking of a 100-year-old fan anthem that was originally written for a Broadway play called The Silver Slipper, but then was adapted as a rallying cry for the Royal Rooters, who were basically like
The Royal Rooters.
basically like the Boston Red Sox's fan club in the early 1900s.
Oh, wow.
And
They were doing drugs. They were alcohol. The Royal Rooters were definitely rowdy. And they didn't even know how I mean, they were drinking. They were like, oh, tonight we'll just drink Coke. But like it was the kind with real Coke in it, you know?
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah.
So, but rallying cry for the Royal Rooters. I imagine it was much like how like a lot of soccer fan bases are today, where it's like they all have their chants and whatnot.
The chants.
The chants.
Red Sox got any chants?
Which brings some of that back.
I like it. Let's make a chant.
Yeah, it'd be so fun.
Well, we should have Royal Rooters for our podcast. MMJ. That's what we say. We like MMJ.
Every day.
It's every day, bro. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
So the Royal Rooters used this old anthem, Tessie, as a way to rally other fans. And in particular, they rallied fans to get loud during the 1903 World Series, which the Sox were down 1-3 against the Pittsburgh Pirates in the series. But back then, the series was best of 9. You had to win 5 games.
Oh.
And they came back from a 1-3 game deficit to win the 1903 World Series.
Wow.
So you might be tracking what's going on here, but alas, the Dropkick Murphys did a little digging and wanted to bring back that spirit of the Royal Rooters to Boston, to the Sox fan base, to give the Sox some momentum. They hadn't won a World Series.
So since the Royal Rooters, they were not singing Tessie.
No.
Okay. This was a revival, not just a revamp.
Yes. So the Sox go on their 86-year drought of not winning a World Series because of the curse of the Bambino. Curse of the Bambino. Curse of the Bambino. And they cut the song in June of 2004 and release it. And this is, again, before the Red Sox would eventually win the World Series in October.
October is pumpkins are for October.
Later that year.
Pumpkins are October. Pumpkins are playoffs.
But in the liner notes of this album, The Warrior's Code, they mentioned this because the album itself came out in 2005, and they recut the song Tessie for the album, but it has like the game-winning call of the Game 4 of the 04 World Series where the Red Sox win and they break the curse. Mm-hmm. So they recut it with the call. Because remember, originally it was recorded before they won. And in the liner notes of the album, this is what it says. It says, "We recorded the song in June 2004, and after giving it to the Red Sox, told anyone that would listen to the song it would guarantee a World Series victory. Obviously, no one listened to us or took us seriously, and we were 3 outs away from elimination in Game 4 at the hands of the Yankees and receiving death threats from our friends, family, and strangers, telling us to stay away from the Red Sox and any other Boston sports team and get out of town. Get out of town.
Get out of town."
What was the other thing we were saying earlier? Not what's it to you, but the...
Why I oughta. That's what their friends and family were saying to them. They were like, "You ruined this for us. Why I oughta."
Finishing it with, luckily for us, things turned around for the Red Sox, and the rest is history.
Wow.
So it was used in 03 as a rallying cry to help the Red Sox overcome a deficit to win the World Series, and it was used in 04 as a rallying cry to help the Red Sox win
101 years later.
The World Series. But yeah, if you ever go listen to the single that got recut with the World Series call, oh man, it's chilling, dude. Oh, that'll make a grown man cry right there. God damn. So, but that's the era we are for today's album. Mm-hmm. I mean, passion for the city of Boston's at an all-time high. They won a World Series in 86 years. They'd eventually win one in 07 again. So, I mean, man, it's a good time to be a Boston sports fan.
Hell yeah. Would you describe yourself as a Royal Rooter?
Absolutely. Sox Nation, baby. But our band today is still going. They're very active with like advocacy and charity groups and whatnot. And they've released some new material here and there, but
Who's listening to that?
Not me. It's just for a very specific audience. You know, I don't know how many of our listeners get down to Celtic punk, but if you do, man, this might be your, you know.
This might be the only band you can listen to, actually.
But today's album, The Warrior's Code, came out on June 21st in 2005. It was recorded in Somerville, Mass., which is a neighborhood of Boston. Their final album that was released under Hellcat Records, and they changed labels. And the cover features boxer Mickey Ward, whose nickname was Irish, and he's from Lowell, Mass. So lots of mass. Lots of mass going on.
Uh-huh.
And The Warrior's Code is still their best-selling album to date.
No way, really?
Yes. The song was originally actually recorded as a single a couple years prior to the album coming out, but it got a re-record for the album and didn't have too much traction at first, which is crazy to think about this song not having a lot of traction. But it got a boost from being in the movie The Departed in the soundtrack. And so then people were like, yo, this thing is lit. Like, oh my God, I get hyped to this. Do you know what I mean?
You know mine.
And the lyrics are taken from a old Woody Guthrie poem that one of the band members discovered. Very simple song. You get into the lyrical content. It's about pirates. It has really honestly nothing to do with St. Patrick's Day.
You know, it's...
But does it sound Irish? Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever heard of an Irishman with like a peg leg.
No. And so if you're at home, I mean, do you at home, do you couple Irish folk with pirates at all? Pirate lore, perhaps?
Why do pirates lose their legs like that?
Peg leg?
Scurvy?
Yeah, perhaps. Gangrene?
Ooh. Don't
Gotta
bring
cut
that
it
up
off.
to me.
A myriad of causes. A gator could have ate it
That's
from somebody
true.
who walked the plank.
But I mean, if you get an injury, though, rum. Pour some rum on it.
Pour some rum on my leg. Come on and walk the plank.
We could ask Johnny Depp.
Perhaps. He is the most trusted authority
When
on...
he's done cleaning up Amber Heard's poop off the bed.
Jesus Christ.
Who knows how much it was?
Today's song, as you've definitely heard it, and I'd be willing to bet.
Certainly.
If you've ever been to any sporting event ever, because, you know, even though it's a very uniquely Boston song, there's so much time between, you know, like the intro and like the first chorus where they actually mention shipping up to Boston.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Because up
It's
until
just
then,
hype.
it could just be hype, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's perfect right before a football kickoff. It's perfect right before a basketball tip-off. I mean, it's
Yeah,
got
or
that.
like, you know, we're going into the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
That type vibes.
Yeah, for sure. So today's song's gonna get you hype. All right, I'm just warning you.
I like to listen to it at the gym sometimes.
Oh yeah, if you're listening to it, it's a Monday morning. Be careful. You're gonna get hyped. All right, you're gonna show up to work all hyped.
Yep, well, all hypes. You don't want to do that.
You're gonna wanna hammer those Excel sheets right when you get in.
Absolutely lock
right
in.
when you.
Absolutely lock in.
You're not even gonna want to talk to Mark down the hall. You're gonna go right to your Excel sheets.
I never want to talk to Mark.
It's the Dropkick Murphys' only platinum hit. And you made a jig to this one time.
I made a jig.
Yeah, we went to go see a FSU versus Boston College football game, and you made up a little jig in the stands. You were doing it.
Oh, I
Got
don't
a
think
video.
that's a
I've got a video of it.
unique jig.
I got a video of it.
I don't think that's a unique jig.
This is one of those songs.
Because I know what the word unique means, unlike Tool, who apparently do not.
This is one of those songs that is good.
Wow, that is insightful.
The bagpipes really make it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the powerful drums. And the screaming vocals, you know. Just never going to listen to it on my own, you know.
I listen to it at the gym.
I don't know. Like, yeah. but I don't know.
I wouldn't listen to it in the car.
On your way to work.
Just maybe if we were driving to Boston, that could be kind of fun.
That is an appropriate
We do need
use
to,
of
like,
it.
on Saturday, like, we're going to need to, like, get hyped for the day, So, like, maybe we should listen to it.
Yeah, perhaps. You definitely could get whiplash from it,
Oh, yeah.
Like a little from banging your head. I do believe it was Jonathan Papelbon, closer for the Red Sox. His his walk-up song.
Oh, yeah, sick.
And during a championship parade, he did a jig, while the band was playing the song live on
That's
the
sick.
same float as him or something. There's some lore out there with that. But then when he got traded, I think he got traded to Cleveland, and they were like, you can't use this song anymore. And he was like, damn.
Well, that would be crazy if
I
we were
know.
to still use it. That would be so weird.
Yeah, but you can't use the song.
Well, it's also I don't know. I feel like it's weird. It's weird enough for it to be his walk-up song because it's they'd want to play it anyways. If you're a closer, you're not playing every game.
No, but it's
You're not pitching
you
every
are
game.
shipping up to Boss. I mean, you're shipping up to the mound.
I guess you got to be ready. Is he available tonight? All right, we won't play it
Can't play it in the pregame.
because you don't really want to play it twice.
Right. But that's shipping up to Boston. It's a St. Patty's Day staple
Sick.
for many. And the next time you ship up to Boston, throw it on.
Do an Irish car bomb.
I do. This is one of those Monday jams where I guarantee you've heard it. We don't really have to go too much in. I ain't gotta show you the light. I'm pretty sure you've heard this one.
If you haven't heard it, y'all try leaving the house once in a while.
Try going to an event.
You got to go somewhere and use your ears while you're there. Be more observant. I'm sick and tired of everybody being uncultured. That's my soapbox for the day.
And now it's time for the segment portion of today's show. Kicking us off, as always, is Emma's Everyday Jam, the song that you've been regularly cruising along to. What you got?
Y'all, it's still Fast Cars and Freedom. I'm still hyped for Rascal, and it's usually... It's obviously Mayberry's my favorite song, but getting hyped for the concert, I feel like I'm going for Fast Cars and Freedom, so it hasn't changed. But that is the core element of this segment of the podcast, so...
I see a dust trail following over. Baby blue eyes, your head on my shoulder. You don't look a day over Fast Cars and Freedom. That sunset or riverbank, first time feeling.
Do I look a day over Fast Cars and Freedom?
No, you're very young and handsome.
Am I Fast Cars and Freedom?
Are you?
I don't know.
I don't think that's the point of the song.
I know. Next up, our major minor chords, the segment of the show in which we discuss our respective highs and lows for the week. What say you?
My major is still that we're going to Rascal. And that Mom's coming up here. Wow. Am I that boring to you? But yeah, I'm hyped for us to go to Boston, do all the things, for Mom to come up here. I know she's very excited, so it'll be so very fun. And I usually do my minor first. I usually try to get out of the way. My minor... it's going pretty good. I don't have much of a minor. I'm a little tired, but that's okay. The bread I'm making right now might be a bust, but we'll see. There might be too much butter involved, but hopefully that'll just make it delicious.
Something Paula Deen would never say.
No. Yeah, so I hope that's not a minor. I hope it's delicious. I hope it's just doesn't end up being fried, because there's too much butter. I end up frying the bread.
Fried bread? I'm sure it still tastes good.
That's something I think Mexican people
fair?
eat.
Oh, yep. Mm-hmm.
Fried bread.
We were thinking the same things.
Yep. So yeah, but doing all right.
You've gotten me sick. Have a little head cold. Shout out to this one, my
He's
co-host.
desperately ill.
So
I'm on the mend.
little little congested.
Can't even talk.
A little congested.
Oh my God.
I got a head cold,
He's
y'all.
got a man cold.
No, I have not been pathetic. No, I could be so much worse.
Yesterday, he's on the couch under the blankets. Is it cold in here? Oh,
Boo.
bring me back bread from the war.
Major alert. Freaking, we found these new, what are they? Sweet tarts?
Sweet tart
Jelly beans. Oh, man. Y'all got to go get you some of those.
They're really good.
I'm sure, they're like a Easter/spring exclusive.
Yeah. We found them at Hobby Lobby.
Oh, man. Y'all got to get you some of those. Pretty darn good.
They were delicious. Now they're on our table, and that's really dangerous. We ate them on the way home.
We didn't eat all of them. Don't
No,
make it
but we did
sound
eat
like
them. We
all-
ate many of them on the way home from Hobby Lobby.
We're good. That's why it's a major. And last but not least, it's time for our honorable mentions. The songs that follow a similar rhyme or reason or almost made the cut. First up, we talked about it, so it's only right you go listen to it. But put on Tessie. Think about one of the greatest teams to ever play sports, ever, any sport, ever. Next up, I can't believe I didn't pay more attention to this one upon first release of the album. And we were talking about this one the other day too. But Take Me Back, Foster the People is pretty darn good from their newest record.
Record.
And last, I guess I'll just leave y'all with some Rascal. And if you're listening early Monday morning, you might be doing this very thing right now. Praying for daylight. Rascal Flatts.
Praying for daylight, waiting for that morning sun, so I can act like my whole life ain't going wrong. Baby, come back to me, I swear I'll make it right. Don't make me spend another lonely night praying for daylight. Praying for daylight.
That's going to do it for us this week, folks. We appreciate the like, follow, subscribe, share, comment, listen, rating, all that good stuff. And you'll have some pretty entertaining content coming your way in addition to today's episode. So be on the lookout for that. But we appreciate y'all nonetheless. And we'll see you soon.
Bye.